At its geologic essence, the reason we have a Cape Cod and a Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket is because a glacier scraped the sand and gravel and silts and clays from north of here and brought it here and left it here, explained Graham Giza, Ph.D., Director of the Land-Sea Interaction Program at the Provincetown Center for Coastal Studies. Large wind waves, those waves being pushed along by strong active winds during a nor'easter, for example, from the northeast formed the early outer Cape shore and moved sediments to the south. At that time, George's Bank was a landmass, but over time it slowly sank as sea levels rose, and it disappeared for good about 6,000 years ago. Ocean swells, waves that have outrun the wind, from the southeast began moving sediment to the north, forming the Provincetown Hook. Veiled now from the eye by 200 feet of salt water off Provincetown, mounds of sand are building on the ocean floor, continually adding to the hook. Then, Giza said, wind waves from the northwest would have pushed sediments to the south, forming the early bayside of the outer Cape. That process would have continued until the Provincetown Hook, the fist and fingers of Cape Cod, grew out enough to protect the northernmost part of the bayside shore from those northwest wind waves. The hook, or spit, is what shelters parts of Cape Cod Bay along the Truro shore from strong winter winds and the waves they produce. A landmass so young, by a geologist's reckoning, explains why agriculture isn't a primary occupation around these parts. The rest of New England draws its richness from antiquity. We don't have much soil here because the glacial deposits are so recent, and that's not enough time for vegetation to produce a very thick soil, Giza added. Cape Cod Bay. 25,000 years ago, the last monumental glacier called the Laurentide ice sheet retreated, according to radiocarbon results. The Laurentide draws its name from the Laurentian region in Canada where the sheet was originated. Then Cape Cod Bay was a lake, or a good part of it was. This is the best known of all the glacial lakes because outwash deltas graded to the lake occur all around Cape Cod Bay from Duxbury to Truro, wrote Dr. Robin N. Oldale, a retired government geologist from Woods Hole. The majority of Cape Cod's landscape is composed of outwash plains, a melting pot of gravel and sand that streams deposited as they flowed in a braided pattern.